It is dripping again, the kitchen faucet, that slow tap against the steel basin you hear when the house goes quiet at night. You called about it once. The plumber wanted $90 just to come look, and more to actually fix it, so you let it drip. Down the hall, the toilet runs, not all the time. Just enough to add $40 to a water bill you cannot explain. There is a truck in your neighbor's driveway right now. Pest control. $35 a month, every month, for bugs that come back anyway. You are surrounded by small problems that quietly cost you money, and almost every one of them has a fix that costs next to nothing. Your father knew that. Every dad on the block in 1974 knew it. They fixed their own faucets on a Saturday and were done by lunch. They kept a jar of white powder that ended the ants for $1. They had a drawer full of small tricks that handled the whole house, and they passed almost none of it on. I am going to give you 25 of those tricks back. What they are, why they work, and how much each one saves you. We count down to the one secret that put more money back in a family's pocket than all the rest combined. Start at 25. Before the count, you should know where this knowledge went and why. There was a time, and it ran right up through the 1970s, when a man fixed his own house. Not because he was a tradesman, because that was simply what a homeowner did. The dad 2 doors down rewired a lamp. The one across the street reset a window. Saturday morning was for the small repairs, and the boys held the flashlight and learned without ever being taught. It was ordinary knowledge. A leaky tap was a washer and 10 minutes. A running toilet was a part you bought for pocket change. Ants were a line of powder along the sill. None of it was a phone call. All of it was just Saturday. Then the house changed, and so did the man living in it. 2 incomes meant no time. A repair stopped being a thing you did and became a thing you bought your way out of. The trades professionalized and licensed, and a quiet message wrote in with the license, "This is too complicated for you now." The hardware on the shelf got cheaper and harder to open. A washer you could swap for pennies became a cartridge you replaced the whole faucet to reach. Nobody sat the country down and told it to stop. The Saturdays just got busy. The boys stopped holding the flashlight. And 1 generation later, a family pays a stranger $90 to do what the grandfather did before breakfast. The knowledge did not die. It got buried. Buried under busy Saturdays and a quiet lie that you could not do it yourself anymore. Here are 25 pieces of it dug back up. Number 25, a bar of soap on anything that sticks, the dresser drawer that fights you every morning, the window painted shut by August humidity. Your dad pulled the drawer out, ran a dry bar of soap along the wooden runners and slid it back. Done. The wax in the soap is a dry lubricant that will not gum up or stain. A handyman would charge you to plane the drawer down. The soap costs $1 and works for a year. Rub it wherever wood rubs wood. Number 24, pencil lead in a stiff lock. The deadbolt that needs 2 hands. The key that fights the door every winter. Never oil it. Oil grabs grit and turns a stiff lock into a dead one. Your father shaved a soft pencil over the key, worked it in and out a few times, and the lock ran smooth for years. That gray dust is graphite the dry lubricant locks were built for. A locksmith call runs $80. The pencil is already in your drawer. Number 23. Petroleum jelly on hinges and rubber seals. The screen door that shrieks. The car door gasket that cracked and now lets the wind whistle through. A thin smear of plain petroleum jelly silences the hinge without the runny mess of oil, and it keeps rubber weather strip soft so it seals instead of splitting. The dad on the block did all the doors every spring with a finger and a jar. A weather strip kit is $40. The jar is $2 and lasts a decade. Number 22. Steel wool stuffed in a mouse hole. You hear them in the wall the moment the weather turns cold. The exterminator wants a contract, but a mouse can chew through foam, through wood, even through soft concrete. It cannot chew steel wool. It tries, it hurts, it leaves. Your father packed every gap under the sink and behind the stove with a tight wad of it, and the mice were simply gone. A pad costs $1. The pest contract costs $400 a year. Find the hole, pack it tight. Number 21. Boric acid and sugar for roaches. The cans at the store knock down what you see and miss the nest entirely. Mix equal parts boric acid and white sugar. The sugar draws them in, the boric acid kills them slowly, and they carry it back to the others on their bodies. Set it in a jar lid behind the fridge, under the sink, along the baseboard. Keep it well away from children and pets. A box costs $4 and clears out a house the sprays never could. Patience does the rest. Number 20. Borax for ants. A trail of them across the counter every July. You wipe them away, they are back by noon. Mix a little borax into sugar water on a scrap of cardboard and set it right on the trail. The workers drink it, carry it home, and the colony goes with it. The spray kills the 10 you can see. The bait kills the 10,000 you cannot. A box of borax is $3 and sits under the laundry sink for years. Let them carry it home. Number 19. Diatomaceous earth along the baseboards, fleas off the dog, pantry bugs in the flour, silverfish in the bathroom, food grade. Diatomaceous earth is a fine white powder of crushed fossil shell, harmless to you and the dog, but to an insect it is broken glass. It scores the shell, and they dry out and die. Your grandmother kept a jar of it next to the flour. A $4 bag lasts 2 years and finishes what the monthly spray never could. Dust it thin wherever the bugs walk. Number 18. A bag of vinegar tied over the shower head. The spray went weak and crooked, and you priced a whole new fixture. You do not need one. The holes are clogged with hard water scale, nothing more. Fill a sandwich bag with plain white vinegar, tie it over the head with a rubber band overnight, and rinse it clean in the morning. The spray comes back like new. A new shower head is $60 and a wrench. The vinegar is $1 and a rubber band. Same water. Open holes. Number 17. A potato for a broken bulb. The glass snapped off in the socket and left the jagged metal base behind. You are afraid to touch it, so the fixture sits dead. Cut the power at the switch and at the breaker, both. Then press half a raw potato firmly down onto the metal base, turn, and it backs the broken stub right out. Your father did it with whatever was on the counter. An electrician call starts at $100. The potato is in the bin. Power off first. Always first. Number 16. Homemade penetrating oil for a rusted bolt. The bolt is seized solid, and the famous can of spray will not move it. Mix your own, half and half, automatic transmission fluid and acetone. Shop tests have shown that blend frees rust better than the name brand cans for a fraction of the price. Brush it on, walk away, and let it creep down into the threads overnight. Both are likely already on your shelf. A penetrant that actually works is worth more than a snapped bolt and a ruined Saturday. Number 15. A little heat on a nut that will not turn. The penetrant alone could not free it. Heat will. Metal expands when it warms, and a nut rusted onto a bolt will break its own grip if you warm it quickly. A small propane torch or even a lighter on a small nut does the job. Keep the flame well away from fuel, brake lines, and anything that burns. Your dad warmed the stubborn ones, and they turned. A flame and patience beat a hacksaw and a curse every single time. Number 14, boiled linseed oil to bring dead wood back to life. The deck went gray. The tool handles are dried out and cracked. The old kitchen table looks tired and thirsty. A wipe of boiled linseed oil soaks straight in, swells the dry fibers, and brings the color and the life right back. It protected wood for 100 years before the spray cans arrived. A can is $10 and does the whole house over a season. One caution worth keeping: the oily rags can catch fire on their own, so lay them flat outside to dry, then throw them out. Number 13, soap on a screw before it goes into hardwood. You drive a screw into oak or maple, and it snaps, or it strips, or it splits the board in two. Drag the threads across a bar of soap or a block of beeswax first. The wax lets the screw cut in clean with half the force. Every old carpenter did it without a second thought. A box of snapped screws and a cracked board cost you the whole job. The soap is already there by the sink. Wax the threads. Drive it home. Number 12, the right pilot hole every time. The board splits at the end. The screw wanders offline. The trim cracks the moment you sink the head flush. The fix is a small hole drilled first, sized to the screw's solid core, not to its threads. It gives the screw somewhere to go, so it pulls the wood tight instead of wedging it apart. 2 minutes of drilling saves a split board and a wasted length of trim. Your father measured the bit against the screw by eye and was never once wrong. Hole first, always. Number 11, gluing a wobbly chair the right way. The kitchen chair rocks, so you ignore it until a rung falls clean out. Do not screw it. Do not nail it. Knock the loose joints fully apart. Scrape the old glue down to clean bare wood. Brush on fresh wood glue and clamp it overnight. It comes back tighter than the day it was built. A new set of chairs is hundreds of dollars. A bottle of glue is $4. Your dad kept the family chairs alive 30 years this way. Clean wood holds. Dirty wood lets go. Number 10, a new handle on an old hammer head. The hickory handle cracked, so off you went to buy a whole new hammer. Stop. The head is the tool, and it will outlive 3 handles. A replacement hickory handle costs a few dollars, taps right into the head, and a wedge locks it tight. The forged head your father swung still drives nails truer than the fiberglass thing on the shelf. Replace the wood. Keep the steel. A good head is worth more than a new hammer ever will be. Number 9, clear nail polish on a screw that will not stay put. The cabinet handle works loose every week. The set screw backs out of the doorknob and the knob comes off in your hand. A single drop of clear nail polish on the threads, then drive it and let it set. Locks it in place. It is the same idea as the blue thread locker the trades sell for $10 a tube. The polish is $1 and already in the house. One drop, one turn, it stays. Number 8, foil behind the radiator. The room never warms and the bill never drops. Half the heat off a radiator on an outside wall pours straight into the cold brick behind it. Tape a sheet of plain aluminum foil to a piece of cardboard, shiny side facing out, and slip it down behind the radiator. The heat reflects back into the room instead of warming the street outside. Your father did it every fall with a roll of foil. A few dollars of foil can shave real money off a long winter of heating. Reflect it back inside. Number 7. Bleeding the radiators every fall. Downstairs gets hot and upstairs stays cold, so you call about the furnace. The furnace is fine. Air is trapped at the top of the cold radiators, blocking the hot water from rising. Use a small key. Give a quarter turn on the valve, wait until the hiss stops and water appears, and the heat climbs through the house again. The bleed key costs $2. The no-heat service call costs $150. Do every radiator each fall before you ever pick up the phone. Let the air out. Number 6. A cup of bleach down the air conditioner drain line each spring. One summer, the ceiling under the unit stains brown, then it sags, then it is a 4-figure repair. The cause is almost always a clogged condensate line backing up. Pour a cup of plain bleach down the access port at the start of every cooling season, and that clog never forms. The bleach is $1. The soaked drywall and the dropped ceiling are thousands. 5 minutes in spring buys you a dry ceiling all summer long. Clear the line before it clogs. Number 5. A $5 tube of caulk before the water gets in. The bead around the tub cracked and pulled away from the wall, and you have been meaning to deal with it for months. Behind that thin gray line is the only thing keeping water out of the wall and out of the subfloor. Let it go and the floor rots, the joists soften, and you are looking at a repair that climbs into the thousands. Scrape the old bead out, run a fresh one in, smooth it with a wet finger. The tube is $5. The rotted floor is everything. Seal it now. Number 4. Change the furnace filter every month. It is a flat dollar part you forget even exists, and forgetting it is exactly what kills the furnace. A clogged filter starves the blower, the motor strains and overheats, and a $1,500 furnace dies years before its time. A clean filter lets it breathe and run easy for decades. Your father swapped it with the seasons and his furnace outlived the mortgage. A filter is a few dollars. A furnace is thousands. Mark the calendar. Swap it. Let it breathe. Number 3. A $2 flapper for a running toilet. That faint, endless trickle in the bowl is the most expensive sound in the whole house. It adds tens of dollars to every water bill that comes. And it is almost never the whole toilet. It is a rubber flapper at the bottom of the tank, worn until it no longer seats and seals. Shut the water at the wall, unhook the old one, hook the new one in its place. 5 minutes, no tools at all. The flapper is $2. The plumber wanted $150. Stop the trickle. Stop paying for it. Number 2. A hand auger for a clog the plunger will not move. The drain backs up, the plunger fails, and the emergency plumber wants $200 just to walk through the door. A simple hand auger is a coil of cable you crank by hand. It reaches down past the trap to the clog the plunger can never touch, and it chews right through it. Your father owned one and never once made the call. The auger costs $20 one time, and it lasts your whole life. Skip the chemicals that eat your pipes from the inside. Reach the clog, turn the handle, and number 1, the washer in a dripping faucet. This is the sound this whole list began with, and it is the one that taught more sons self-reliance than any other trick on it. A faucet that drips is not broken. Deep inside it, a rubber washer the size of an aspirin has worn flat and no longer seals. Shut the water under the sink, take the handle apart, swap the worn washer for an identical new one, and put it all back together. The washer costs pennies. A whole bag of them costs $1. The plumber wanted 90 just to look at it. This is the secret at the top of the list because it is the entire lesson held in one small part. A 10-cent piece of rubber stands between you and a bill that never once had to exist. Your father knew it. His father knew it. The drip was never a plumber. It was a washer and 10 quiet minutes. It is the king of this list, and it still wears the crown. Now let me tell you what happened to all of it, plainly, the way I always do. There is no villain here. No one in a boardroom decided to make you helpless. Look at it the way the money looks at it. A man who knows the washer trick buys a 10-cent washer once a decade. A man who does not know it calls a plumber for $90, twice a year, for 40 years. One of those is a customer the trade can live without. The other is a customer for life. A faucet you can fix yourself is worth nothing to the man who fixes faucets. A faucet sealed shut that forces the whole unit to be replaced is worth everything. So the repairable washer became a sealed cartridge. The serviceable became the disposable, not out of malice, out of the simple downhill pull of the money. The same pull emptied the Saturdays. It was never sold to you as helplessness. It was sold as convenience. Let someone else handle it. You are too busy. It is all too complicated now. And every one of those small, true-sounding messages cost you a little more of what your father simply knew. You were not helpless because you were incapable. You were helpless because nobody ever showed you the washer. Here is why these old tricks actually work, in plain English. They all come down to one principle the old-timers understood in their hands without ever naming it. Almost nothing in a house truly breaks. A small, soft, cheap part wears out. You renew that one part, and the whole thing works like new. Look at the seals. A washer, a flapper, a bead of caulk, a strip of rubber on a door. Every one is just a soft thing pressed against a hard thing to stop water or air from passing. Soft things wear. So you replace the soft part for pennies, and the seal is new again. You are not rebuilding anything. You are renewing the one piece that was ever going to fail. The lubricants are the same principle wearing a different coat. Oil grabs grit and turns to grime. Soap, graphite, and wax stay dry, so they slip without holding the dust and work for years. Same idea. Renew the small thing that wears. Leave the rest alone. Your father never said the words. He did not have them and did not need them. He just knew the fix was small, the part was cheap, and the industry hoped you would never learn which part it was. He was right on all three. So here is what I want you to do. The next time something in your house drips, runs, sticks, or sags, do not reach for the phone first. Reach for the drawer. Most of what goes wrong in a house is a small worn part and 10 quiet minutes. A washer, a flapper, a bag of powder, a bar of soap, pennies and patience the way it always was. These 25 are not clever. They are not new. They are the ordinary knowledge of an ordinary man on an ordinary Saturday. The kind every dad on the block once carried. The kind almost none of them passed on. You were never taught it. That was not your fault. But now you have it back. This is not about saving a few dollars on a faucet. It is about refusing to be a stranger in your own home. If this is the kind of knowing you want kept alive, subscribe. There is a great deal more where this came from. The knowledge is still here. The drawer is still there. Go fix something before you call someone.